Welcome to The Wedding Wear with Officiating by Amanda.
Welcome back to The Wedding Wear. Today, very, very special. A twofer, if you will, not just with the number of episodes. I'm pretty sure it will be 2 episodes, but I have 2 very special guests here with me today. I have Emily and Bobby. And oh gosh, I'll look it up in a second to tell you what couple numbers they were. That's right. This couple's very big into twofers. They're both here today. They had a elopement and then a big party celebration, big to-do wedding. And they're just awesome. And before I dive in, I wanted to wish you both a very happy anniversary on day of recording.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes. Well, perfect. So just to share, we are a little bit whining. We'll be a little bit more whining, except for Bobby. He's a good boy. He's a driver. We love a good solid DD.
That deal.
I love it. So content warning, content label, take it for whatever you will. You've been warned. And this is what it is. But I am really wondering, what numbers were you? Because you guys were both, as I was getting a little more weighty after COVID was kind of dying down. And then additionally, obviously, 9 months later, a year? No.
I think it was only 6 months.
6 months later.
Yeah. Oh, but we have 2 numbers then.
You do have 2 numbers, but this one, I think this one's. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you have 2 numbers. So let's see here. So with couple 96 and 125, I don't know. You say 125, you say 96. You want to just pretend like you're 2 separate couples?
Sure.
Like you talk about wedding 96, you talk about wedding 125.
Yeah. Hey.
I'm joking. I have with me Emily and Bobby. So we're going to start a little cheers here, friends.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Bring this in. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
So first off, how are you? How are you feeling about this whole thing?
Good. Can't complain.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Any nerves? Any like, oh gosh, we better watch our P's and Q's?
Oh, no, that's why there's, so I have you can't see, I have a full script here with bullet points because I want to make sure that I answer the questions in the way that I want to answer them, because I will just go off on a tangent about one thing and I'll forget like what the real answer like should or could be. Yeah.
It's a turn from 2 episodes to a series real quick.
And then Bobby will go to answer the question and go, I don't know.
What she said.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much I need to be reined in and he needs to be supported.
Yeah.
Supported.
And sharing the space as well, too, which I find is so important for couples, especially in weddings, is finding the right balance and blend between, bride, groom, things you want, things you have to have, things that drive you insane. And even with personal vows and scripts, as you guys had, finding where that balance is of, okay, well, I want to be a little sappy and sentimental and I want to make her laugh. Bobby, I know you were like a few times like, I'm going to say this. And don't worry, Amanda, you don't have to get that joke. She's going to get it. She's going to laugh. She's crying on that one. Yep, she'll laugh again on that one.
Yeah. There were some
cute.
In the elopement ceremony, there was an inside joke that was highly inappropriate that you would not know.
Oh, it was above my pay grade.
Was highly inappropriate. And so then at dinner that night, I had to explain to our guests what that joke was.
To be fair, all the guys had already heard that story.
All the guys had already heard that story, and I think Crystal, my matron of honor, had heard that story. But I think to everybody else, it was just a new... And then they couldn't believe that you said that in your vows because, again, hearing it, like, you would think it's a totally innocent thing, like, oh, it's just an inside joke, whatever. It was very much a joke about genitalia.
So when I was in charge of Greek life, we would have Greek week, and they were allowed to do roasts. There was a season where they got rid of Greek week because things were just no one.
That's fair.
When they brought it back, I had to agree with the dean of students on certain rules. And one of the rules was all of the roasts had to be approved by me before being said. And I let the students, again, you're 18, 22 years old. I'll let you get 3 real good zingers in, but there's certain jokes you don't make, drugs, suicide. There's certain things you don't make. Can I tell you, there was one speech every year where I swear I almost lost my job because it's not what's written, it's what's inferred, what's quantitated. So the one girl, her speech was like, "Oh, Taylor, we're sure you really loved the winter this year with all of that snow." And again, I knew the student actually came from like the South. I'm like, oh, maybe she's never seen snow. That's totally innocuous. Gets up there and goes, "Jenna, Taylor, I'm sure you really loved this winter with all that snow."
Oh,
And
no.
everybody lost
Oh,
it. And I'm there like,
yeah.
and there goes my job, and there goes my job, and there goes my job.
Right.
And the one girl one year ended her speech listing off all of these guys' names. I'm thinking, okay, they've got sweethearts or friends or, whatever these could all be. I have a lot of fun fraternity guys. Maybe these are her friends. She goes, yes, and I want to give a shout out to Mike and Tom and Bob and Joe and da da da. She listed like 10 names. And what was not in the script was the ad lib of, and yes, that's in order of penis size.
No.
And everyone, I'm like, there goes my job. So well done on sliding that in past me because, we did, but man. Well, finalizing out this little introduction here, which I'm probably Taylor a bit. Tell the people at home in as much detail as you want who the heck you guys are. Who are you?
I've been trying to answer that question my whole life.
Script.
Didn't
Actually,
you know?
it's right there on the script.
Didn't you know?
And I didn't answer it because I didn't know how.
Didn't you know this is actually like a shrink podcast?
That's fine.
Get deep. Who are you?
Start with your name.
A Scorpio.
Great. Okay, a Scorpio.
I'm Emily. I am a Scorpio, but I'm a Scorpio that sought help. I don't have the typical moodiness of a Scorpio. People don't normally think I'm a Scorpio. And Bobby, I don't know what star sign you are because I'm not really into it, but I know that you're one of the ones that's just like very nice and calm. And it balances me out. Yeah.
The answer is Virgo.
You're a Virgo.
Yeah.
You've been married for a whole year and
We have
more.
We've only almost been married 2 years almost.
From wedding night.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've been together. So wedding 96 was on our 5th anniversary. So yeah, we've been together.
We've been together for 6 years now.
Almost 7.
Mhm.
See, it was on our 5th anniversary and we're almost at 2. So 5 plus 2 is.
Your younger one.
He does that joke with everybody and nobody ever laughs. Like, it's like a penny laugh, right? It's like, oh, I get it now, right? Find different material.
I laugh.
In your vows as well, it's like to always laugh at your jokes, even if I'm the only one that like.
You know what? That's the only vow that I've been having a hard time honoring. All the other ones about sickness and health and richer and poor, that's all fine and good. The laughing at the jokes is sometimes
That's the most
hard.
important.
It's sometimes so difficult. You make it
He gives you so
difficult.
much to work with.
You do.
He really does.
On the way here, he was just cracking jokes the whole time. Like long car rides together is just joke after joke after joke and reference after reference. And like at a certain point, I just start to like turn up the music like bit by bit until I can't hear him anymore.
The jokes are still there. You're just not getting through the sound wave.
See his mouth move and I'm just bopping along to like Vivaldi or something, just moving on. Like whatever is on is loud.
I love you guys. This is a 3. Y'all, this might need to be a 3-parter. I think they've overdone the 2-ferness. We might need to make them a 3. So starting off from your script, please note, I didn't write their script. These are not me scripted answers. These are couple scripted answers because I don't like to put anyone on the spot because I don't like to officiate on the spot. That's not fun.
I got you.
So we all like our little outlines in our scripts. How did you guys meet? And is there anything that was like a meet cute with your engagement?
So I have to start out with, I don't really know what meet cute is.
Like, oh, my dog had run away and it turns out it was always in his backyard, like.
Oh, then we were meet ugly.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
went wrong.
Cute. It's like meet,
Or just like anything like his mini, like, yeah, I wasn't going to go out that night at all. And then, or like with me and my husband, I was living my hot girl summer. I just had weight loss surgery. I was like, oh, I'm going to date a lot. I'm
not summer. Yeah.
I'm not going to tie myself down to anything or anyone. I was on like 4 fourth dates and 5 third dates and lots of second dates. Like I didn't pay for meals for like an entire month and a half. I had text upon text, boys upon boys. I was not meeting anyone for purpose.
Right.
And I matched with him and I met him and went, shit.
What site were you on?
Facebook dating.
Oh, Facebook. Oh,
it was on.
Okay.
I've been on many. Hinge, OKCupid were like my primary in college.
Yeah.
Facebook dating. I'll tell you my story about Christian Mingle.
Oh no.
So, but I was like, oh, really, I am not doing this. And I met him and I'm like, crap. And I texted my best friend and said, I think this is my last first date for a while. And she goes, oh,
Yeah.
what about all the other dates? I'm like, I just ended this date and told him I'm going to spend the next month kind of closing down all of the other communications. We went on 4 dates then in the first week, him and I.
Yeah, yeah. That's how you
And
know. You're
then
like, I like you.
when I was chatting with him and saying, gosh, I've been dating for the better part of 10 years online and no real success. And it's been so hard. He's like, it's been really hard. I go, well, how long have you been on? Oh, 4 days. I'm like, I'm sorry. Well, he goes, and like 2 of them were bots. And he's like, and you know what? Honestly, I didn't I didn't know that I wanted to like set my radius as low as Reading, Pennsylvania, because I heard things about
Wow.
Reading girls. And I'm like, so wait a second.
Wow.
You were on for 4 days and you were almost so picky that you missed me.
That is not the case for most men.
No,
That is
no.
not how it goes at all.
And he liked that I didn't give him my number at first. Like, he had to work for it. I'm like, you're not getting my number.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to. So back to you guys. How did you meet? And anything funny or really cute with your engagement?
So I think I was also maybe in a hot girl summer at that point. I just lost somebody very close to me, and I was like grieving and drinking a lot and dating a lot, and it was my first summer out of a long-term relationship, and I'm still very close with that person, but it was like my first summer of freedom. And so, I was meeting people, going on dates, doing a little more than dates, whatever. So I was on OKCupid, Tinder, and Bumble. And then at a certain point, like I did have a stipulation on there that I was looking to have a relationship of some sort, that it wasn't just hookups.
Mm.
And a lot of the people I was talking to, it would end up like they would say, yeah, I want to go, I want to go out on dates. I want to be in a relationship with you, whatever. And we'd make a first date and they'd be like, oh, I have to cancel. And I'm like, well, I could just come over to your house. And then it would be a hookup.
Mm.
And then you don't talk anymore after that because it's very awkward. So I like narrowed it down to OKCupid. OKCupid has a million
Oh, I
questions
answered every
about every topic under the sun. I answered every single one I could. I'm like, you know what? I'm ready to find somebody because I had lost any taste I had for the quick, like, oh, we'll go on a couple dates and then that's it. I was like, no, you know what? I'm not good outside of a relationship and like having a person that I'm consistently with.
And I liked on OkCupid that not only did you answer a question, but then I asked, how important is this to you? Which I think is so valid in relationships to talk
Yeah.
about. Like, again, when I say, like, I like religion, how important is it to you? It's not,
Right. Right.
and even just having those conversations with yourself, something that you would put down, again, would you fight for it? Would you die for it?
Right.
Were you going to stop conversation for it because of XYZ? And if so,
Yeah.
great, put it down as undisputable.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
honestly, you're like, so you know what? As long as they're taking care of themselves in the way that they can, and
Yeah.
it's not a make or break for me. And I'd love
Right.
the OK people to ask that because it
Yeah.
helps to really at times filter out. Now, I don't know if when guys answer, they actually pay attention to that little second question, or they just go, doesn't matter, doesn't matter, doesn't matter.
So no.
We'll get to my part.
So yeah.
Gotta
So,
stay on script.
so I'm on OKCupid, of course, as a woman, you get, a million, and I don't mind sharing. I'm bisexual, pansexual, whatever you want to call it.
And
So
gorgeous.
like, thank you. So like, it's, I had it open to literally anybody that identified with any gender could contact me. I'm willing to have, at least a conversation with,
As long as they were open to that for you as well.
yeah. Like if I find a literal human that meets my specifications, I'm open to it. Well, let me tell you, it's just male, 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 down the line, down the line. So I'm scrolling through and you get like 200, like it's crazy. And I'm scrolling through and I'm like, holy shit, I know this guy and I know he has a girlfriend and he is cheating on her. And I'm looking at this profile and I clicked on it and it was not the person I thought it was. It was Bobby. And I was like, okay, this guy's cute. Because I thought her boyfriend was adorable.
Does Bobby have an evil twin that I didn't know about?
No, it just somebody that looks very much like him when they both were hats. And his profile picture was him when you were like 16, 17. Like you weren't like you
So
were
you
not
fell for like a child?
you were not as old in that picture as you were in real life. You were like 25 when we met, but
I
that
was 20 in that picture.
okay. You looked like you were like 15. I knew it had to be an old picture,
I
right?
see without the facial hair how you could.
Yeah, he looks very young. And he was holding a giant anaconda.
It's not an
You got a big one, don't you?
That'll come up too. Don't worry.
He's told
There's a
us like
story on
every single girl that did contact him said something of that nature. And so I was like, you know what? Do I want to swipe right on this guy? He's pretty cute. And then I see 73% match. And I had this rule for myself that if they didn't answer the questions, if it's not an 85 or higher, I'm not swiping right.
Because you could also see the count of like how many questions or how
Yeah.
strong based on. Because again, if you only answered 5 things, but they all match, it'd say 100% match.
Right.
Weak. Because
Yeah.
it only answered 5 matching questions or something.
Exactly. And I saw that he did not answer any of the questions. I'm like, you know what? I'll just swipe right.
Make him answer.
I'll just swipe right and I'll just ask him questions if I need to. And that swipe was literally, I mean, it changed my whole life, but it didn't initially because we talked for 2 weeks, right? And then I actually was messaging other guys and I met another guy and we went out for 2 weeks and I stopped talking to him for 2 weeks. I ghosted Bobby for 2 whole weeks. Dated somebody else.
I can't believe you
I
put up
know.
with that.
I know. And then, I came right back because I was like, this guy's he's got a little something, you know?
But on the other side, so
I'm just going to interject here. I love that you're here because I never get the other side. I get the story of like, oh, and this is what I told my husband, and it was a done deal. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's great. But was it really? So, no, tell me, how was it on the other side?
So I was also on dating apps, but I would only do 2 at a time. So like I wasn't trying to go crazy, but I'm trying to meet somebody. And so at one point I had Tinder, Plenty of Fish, with both terrible. OKCupid and eHarmony.
That's 4, not 2.
I did the Tinder and Plenty of Fish first, and then swapped to the other 2.
Got it.
And on the guy's side of all that, it's nothing but bots, people looking for just hookups,
Sugar daddies.
sugar daddies. You get that a lot
You
too.
want to pay me? Pay me.
Yeah.
He couldn't have been a sugar daddy. Come on.
Nope. Sugar mama once in a while. That was interesting. I didn't like answering those either. Or you just never would get a response whatsoever. So at one point, I even had someone who I matched with was talking to, and then I got confirmation of another match, and it was that same profile. But we were planning to meet, so I was like, is this you or is this you? Like, which one is it?
Yeah.
So in all the strings of the bots and the similar profile pics, somewhere out of that mess came this gem.
Yep. So it's all about the percentage, basically. So
It's the algorithm.
yeah, I had to basically swipe right on everybody, like every picture and everything, just to see if anybody would match whatsoever.
Up, Fred.
He may have. There was a chance my best friend did. He was also swiping for me.
I did a swipe party with a bunch of my friends out in Pittsburgh, and we all unlocked our phones with a lot of wine. You pass it to the person.
Yeah.
And they have 15 minutes. They can pick any of your open apps, go in and like people on your behalf. They've got 15 minutes and you just pass around the circle. Like maybe your friends see something that you were overthinking or overlooking.
There was no thought involved at all.
No, yeah, it was just a boop, boop.
Okay, good job, Fred.
Yep. So before Emily, I was talking to another girl, and this girl, it was never going to work with her. Emily talks a lot. This girl puts you to shame. There was a 2-hour phone call where I didn't say a single word, put myself on mute, and played a game instead and forgot I was on a phone call. She never noticed.
That's brutal.
No,
that's brutal on your behalf. That's kind of mean.
I never got a word in.
Because if he had, he would have been like, hey, this isn't working for me.
So then we started talking. And I was like, all right, we'll see how this goes. Whatever, I'm single for a while, so nothing changes. Nothing's crazy going to happen.
It's really in a rush. I mean, it's not like you're 50 trying to be like, gotta get married.
No. But then all of a sudden, I was like, oh, I guess I said something wrong because she hasn't talked to me in a couple of days, so whatever. Ignore that. So I think it was on Wednesday he texted me again, which is my bowling night with my guy friends. I'm looking at this, I'm like, should I even talk to this girl? She just ghosted me for 2 weeks.
Came back up out of the blue.
I think I waited for like a good hour or so, and then I finally responded.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this guy isn't gonna. Well, because I didn't think our conversation was going anywhere. You know what? I profiled you. Like, I looked at you and I went, okay, I know this about this person. I'm not a religious person, and I like just from talking
Most of your assumptions turned out to be wrong.
he seemed so respectful that I was like, he has to be a devout Christian. It was in my mind, and he is not. And
Can I get you to admit on mic I was wrong?
I was wrong. Oh, I was so wrong. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. Yeah.
I need that sound clip for a while.
Oh, yeah. Don't worry, that's gonna be like the little intro version. I was wrong.
It could be the title.
He's gonna get it like a Build-A-Bear with it in it, where he can press the paw and
and especially when you're in the middle of an argument, you just hear a little, I was wrong.
So then we were talking for like another 2 weeks now, and then
yeah, we did wait like a month before we actually met in person, because I think we were both done with like.
So then we met. We met at an Applebee's, but this should have been the clue for the entire relationship up until even today, because somebody was late.
It's running late. I was so nervous. Like, I was so nervous to meet him because things had really spiced up in the 2 weeks post ghosting. And I was like, oh, okay, this guy, he is fine. And so I was nervous, and then I was running late. And then in our region of New Jersey, there are fields everywhere. It was September, and I got stuck behind a tractor. And I don't mind admitting this, but while I was driving, I pulled out my phone, took a picture of the tractor, and sent it to him to be like, I am not standing you up. I'm stuck behind this tractor.
And it's not like piss poor planning. Like,
it's, yeah, no, 100%. It's the tractor. It's not me. Yeah, so I wanted you to make sure that I wasn't ghosting you.
I was already there. I was just 2 seconds walking and ordering without you.
Yeah, as soon as I pulled, and I was almost shaking from nerves. From running late, from meeting a new person. I can you tell by the script that I have anxiety, like pretty bad anxiety. And Bobby got out of his car because I was like looking around the parking lot. He got out of his car, he came up to me, and he just gave me like the biggest hug I've ever gotten from somebody that I've never met. And I'm not a hugger. I'm not crazy about physical touch. And he gave me this like big hug. He really wrapped me up, and all of my anxiety washed away. And it was like I had known him before. Like, it wasn't like love at first sight type of thing. Like, I don't really know if I believe in that. But it definitely was like, I felt like I knew you. I could trust you.
And there's comfort.
Yeah. And I was like, whoa, this is a different experience than I've ever had in my whole life with this person. Like, at least it's going to be a very good relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then from there, you guys dated. Let me think if I've got this right. You dated about 4 years, and then dated about 3 years. You got engaged at 4 years, and then the first wedding was at 5 years.
No,
slightly off.
We did not actually get engaged. We did not have.
Oh, right. Because there was a watch and a ring thing, right?
Yeah,
getting a ring at first wedding.
Yeah, I've health problems, and April of 2023.
Okay, and then
I was in the hospital, and like they wouldn't let him in to see me, and like because I was in the ICU, like it was a whole thing. And so then we started playing with the idea of like, what if we got married? Then we would not have any of this. Like,
as if for no other reason.
Yeah, like it wasn't. It wasn't like there was any one moment where we were like, yes, we should get married. Like, there wasn't any one moment. It was just like, this is the natural progression of our relationship. We love each other.
I will point out that I asked you what would change if we got married.
Yeah.
And we both agreed nothing would change. We would just be married now, a title.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't have any.
Again, the things that change are the things that don't necessarily matter until they matter. Like legal, the paperwork, insurance and benefits, things like that. Like, they're all great ancillary. They don't matter as much as the love.
Yeah.
Until they get called in, like, you can't visit someone in the hospital.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people make the mistake of like, oh, we're having this issue, but if we got married, it's going to fix that issue.
Yeah, and that wasn't it at all. It really just made it more convenient in a way.
Or they marry
But
to fix the issues with the love.
yeah, they
Not
have these expectations like we're gonna get married and then things are gonna be amazing. We're gonna wake up the next day and be new people, and that's not how it goes. You're literally the same person that you were the day before, or you should be.
right. Some might be a little hungover. Some might
Yeah,
be a little
yeah.
better.
Within reason.
Right. But yeah, so you guys both just said we're gonna get engaged.
Yep.
Thank you for reminding me about like not having a ring because I was
Yeah,
writing
I
that
didn't have
into the first script of like, and you're actually getting like your engagement ring. Like,
yeah. Oh, I
I knew you
had
were
it
gonna get
before.
like a 2-part. Yeah.
Yeah, I had both my engagement ring and my wedding band before. I had been wearing my engagement ring because people did not understand that I was engaged, I was getting married, but I didn't have a ring. So I started wearing it to work, and I was very nervous about wearing jewelry. I don't wear jewelry. So I started wearing it to work so people would, like, get off my back about it.
It's rough that like as women we have to like have
You gotta validate it.
a piece of possession property in order
Yeah.
for others to kind of respect or understand or leave us alone.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, guys, they're optional to wear a wedding ring or not. Like, it's
Yeah.
actually odd that I do.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it was odd that my husband wanted one. Like I was planning to get him a silicone one, just for
Yeah.
comfort with his anxiety. I've got him Star Wars ones and Lord of the Ring one and black one. Like I've got a whole bunch. And then we went to go pick out my ring and he saw one with like hammered metal and that really just spoke to like his textile senses. Although I laugh because I can hear him playing with it and like spinning around on his finger. And then you hear, I'm like,
Yep. I can't tell you how many times
pick that up before you lose it.
Well, wedding ring shopping for him, so he's got these 2 bowling rings, and they are the most gaudy thing I've ever seen in my life.
For the listeners at home, these are honking like UFC Super Bowl fighting championship rings. Like think men's high school class ring, bedazzled and up a level.
So over looking at the rings, she's picking out all these crazy bulky rings. I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted. I want something simple.
I wanted something that would accent because I've got like a nice vintage set. And I thought if it were something that had a little bit of accent or engraving, it would be nice. It would be fancy for him. It would be, it would accent my ring. And he was just going for the ones that looked like someone.
You got a good complimentary ring there, though. That's a good.
I did not pick this
I
out.
picked it out.
I wasn't even there.
We went to many. Oh, we went to 2 stores before I picked out my engagement ring. I saw it. I knew it was the one. We got it, and we got the band custom made to go with it because I couldn't find one I liked.
We went to 8 or so, and I still didn't. It was always the same 20 rings in all these stores.
For guys, yeah, typically, yeah.
I don't like any of these.
And I'm like, why are we going to spend $1,000 on a ring that you don't even like? So I went on Amazon. I didn't show him the prices, the materials, nothing. I just did screenshots, and I said, okay. It was like March Madness. And I said, okay, out of these 2, what do you like? And we narrowed it down to 2 rings, and he said he didn't care which one. And I said, okay, I need something to put on your finger at the wedding, so I'm going to pick one, and you're just going to like it. He went, okay.
I would have been fine with a ring pop.
I could have done that, too. A ring pop seemed too gaudy with the things you were picking out, honestly. Too bright, too blingy. Yeah, I had to find something to put on him. But we did do the watch. Are you wearing it right now?
Yeah.
We did do the watch. Yeah, so that was you were talking earlier about
very simple.
You were talking earlier about like equality in weddings and like, it seems like the brides do more. This was very much like I will say with the wedding planning, I did almost all the planning. That's my strong suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to make him do that if that's not what he's good at. Otherwise, things aren't going to meet my expectations and he's going to be disappointed because I'm upset. But with everything else, I wanted to make sure like you deserve a gift too for getting engaged. I got my ring. I wanted to get you something, and your watch has a real diamond in it. I didn't want a diamond. I was like, don't you dare buy a diamond because it's going to fall out and then I'm going to feel terrible about it. Like, this is what, like CZ or something.
Yeah.
And like, get me a diamond when we're married 50 years. That'll be great.
I'll give it a diamond in 50 years.
That's fine.
It's a diamond.
Yeah. But I mean, your watch cost almost as much as my ring. I wanted to make sure that he was, getting, equal. And that goes right down to at our May wedding. I had you ask everybody to rise for him to walk down the aisle because I think that was me kind of showing maybe people that had some opinions like, no, this isn't about me. This is about the two of us. We are both, excited to be here. We both deserve the respect and the attention and everything else. And yeah, that's been a theme throughout, is just trying to make sure that, we're both represented in everything.
Mm-hmm.
Except right now when I don't let you talk.
I'm doing a fair job.
Well, and again, in kind of sharing that, workload when possible, sharing responsibility when possible, sharing the spotlight when possible. I think those are all really great things. Is that the advice that you would give to couples when planning their wedding, or do you have a different piece of advice?
Oh, for sure. Mine is it does not need to be perfect. You have to find a way to just roll with the punches. I just kept saying to myself, it doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be. Especially with the elopement. As long as we were legally married at the end of the day, because I would have been really sad if it was a different date. The date did matter. As long as we were married at the end of the day, I did not care if everything went up in flames. As long as I am married to my spouse and we're happy, that's all that mattered. I wish I had had that outlook with May, because May was more of a party for our family and not really us getting married. I was so focused on impressing everyone. That does not matter.
Well,
it does not.
That's why I think it's good that you had the part that mattered.
Yeah.
The part that was for everyone else, and my husband and I, with the selfie 9 license, we signed it the night before with a few witnesses.
Yeah.
Because we knew day of, we're saying great things in our vows, but by and large, it's for the 150 guests.
Yeah.
We're getting married.
Yeah.
But it's also a little bit of a show. And so we look back on, some of those key moments, and a lot of them came from the lead up to versus the day.
Yeah.
And the post versus the moments. So, Bobby, what do you have to say for couples that are in wedding planning? What advice would you give?
I agreed with Emily. Everything can go horribly wrong. Whatever plans you have can go wrong, go out the window. Car breaks down on the way to the venue. The caterer doesn't show up. As long as you need to have 2 people there, and everything else can be by the wayside. You need your partner and the officiant. Everything else doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because you need somebody to actually be there to marry you.
Yeah. And in Pennsylvania, you don't need witnesses. So,
right. Yeah.
Some places I've been where, New Jersey, for example, Jersey weddings with a Jersey license, my friends, I'm so happy you didn't do that. You have to fill it out in quadruplicate, and you need 2 witnesses, and you need a witness when you go apply.
That's why our elopement was more than just the 2 of us, is because we originally were looking to do our elopement in Massachusetts or New Jersey or wherever. And we had already asked 2 people to be our witnesses. And then when we decided on Pennsylvania, we were like, well, we can't tell them not to come now. We probably could have. They're pretty cool. But I didn't want to do that to them. And then it ended up where it's like, well, he wanted his best friend there. I wanted my best friend there. And then they're partners. And
but 10, maybe 15 people max?
We had 8 people.
8. Perfect.
8 people. You were number 9.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. It was nice. It was like, listen, here's the chairs, sit. If you can be there, be there. If you can't, that's fine. I didn't care whether it was the 2 of us or it was 10 of us. It did not matter. It just hits that core of try your best to focus on what matters. Everything else is superficial.
So, Bobby, how did you handle the stress of wedding planning?
I did not.
You didn't handle it well?
No, I didn't handle it at all.
Good for you.
No.
Were
Yeah,
there
Emily-
little elements that you kind of helped give feedback on or pivot? My husband did a lot of, I'd lay out the plan and get the plan 90% through execution. I'd tell him about the plan the entire step of the way. He'd come in at the final moment to carry over the threshold and then go, oh, why are you doing it like this? I think if you did like that. And I'm like, that is a genius idea, but not helpful right now. Where were you 6 months ago?
I don't think I even did that.
Okay, so
I let Emily have the reins on this one entirely.
Okay, so then I'll ask the better person. Emily, did you have any stress with wedding planning, and how'd you handle it?
To me, I'm gonna defend you for a moment. He was dealing with so much emotional stress because we're having some family issues. He was dealing with all of that, taking on the brunt of it. I'm I'm open. I'm not afraid to admit therapy is like a necessity. You were going to therapy and you were growing as a person. You were doing things to work on yourself and your relationships with your family. And so I was fine with you doing that while I was doing the wedding planning, because at the end of the day, a wedding's a wedding, right?
He's doing like the
Yeah.
self-planning and the life plan.
Yeah. And a lot of what you did in your personal growth is what contributed to us having a happy wedding, right? So that it you did in your own way help. The cupcakes and whatever else, I can handle that stuff. That's, again, the superficial stuff I can do. The legal stuff I can do.
I did build the boards for the outdoor games.
Yeah. Yeah, for the actual wedding he did do a lot of like physical labor.
And when
Yeah.
I got on site, you were very much like, okay, what can I do? How can I help?
Yeah.
We're taking guidance and direction, which I've been at a lot of weddings. A lot of grooms don't seek out to do anything. They're waiting to be told what to do. I think that's something also in men over.
Yeah.
But they're waiting for me or a day of coordinator or DJ or someone of any sort of power to say, well, hey, why don't you go do that? Or, oh, maybe you stand over here. How about you help? You are actively seeking out things of, okay, so
I
I
wanted
think
to
I need
go
to be
home.
here.
So whatever gets me there first, the fastest, I'll help in any way I can.
And I think it came down to that equality bit too, is it wasn't just what I wanted. Like, it wasn't just, I want the wakeboards there. You have to have them there. No, we both wanted the wakeboards there and there. And so it was, when I was off doing something else, Bobby could say, hey, can you please move this here? Because he wanted it there too. He wanted the same things done that I wanted done. He knew exactly how we wanted things to be.
Rubber plates is a very regional thing.
Oh, yeah.
And people
Anybody
would not
outside
know
of this
what that
area, they're
is.
not gonna know what that is.
Oh
I'm
no,
so
we love
sorry.
quates. We
Yeah.
like quates and we have
We
quates.
could not have we were playing quates in the rain the next day, cleaning up because we had we played quates with your dad in the rain the next day. It was great. Yeah, so was I stressed about planning? Yes. It was my own fault.
And you were probably more stressed with the second than the
Yeah.
first, given the
Yeah.
guest count, all the other elements that were going into play.
Well, the first was
Yeah, the
easier.
first one, again, only 8 guests, very low key. It was at a place that doesn't do weddings, right? So
But they did it
they
for you.
did it for me because I don't know how I schmoozed my way in there.
You probably said, we've got like 8 friends coming for like a dinner.
Oh, well, it started with 2. I said, "Hey, we're just gonna elope." Then it was, "Hey, can we have 4 guests and an officiant?" Yes. Okay, it's gonna be 8 guests, the bride and the groom, 3 dogs, and an officiant. And she was like, "Okay, but we probably can't do any more than that." I'm like, "That is fine." And I also had to be okay with, they have a restaurant with a window overlooking the area. They have this like beautiful, the place is called the Inn at Turkey Hill.
Where you first told me that,
Yeah.
is there like a Days Inn attached to a
The
Turkey Hill gas
States.
station?
Oh, yeah. No.
I was confused at first. I really had to Google it because then you're like, no, it's up here. I'm like, in Bloomsburg.
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, there's Turkey Hills everywhere. How am I supposed to find the random Turkey Hill? And you were very clear, like, oh, it's like right off the exit. The way
Yeah.
you described like how easy it was going to be for me to get there, you're like, it's off the exit. I'm like a gas station, like a Turkey Hill gas station.
No, it is. So I went there years ago because my family did a little weekend in Knoebels because it's so close to Knoebels. And I just remember the sheets. The sheets are the softest sheets. It's like $200 sheets on those beds. They're the softest.
The gas station? You're thinking the gas station again?
It was the softest sheets I've ever been on in my life. And so I've always remembered it because of the sheets. And I also remembered, of course, the beautiful koi pond and gazebo and the restaurant that overlooks it. So, yeah, that they were not the first place I contacted. I mean, again, originally we were looking Massachusetts, New Jersey. I had to create a whole separate email just for inquiries because I had to find somewhere that would allow dogs to be in the room and on site. I was trying to find somewhere. Yeah, like the dogs, we need to eat, but you can't bring a dog into a hotel event center. Like, you just can't do that. And had it not been so dark, I think, at that point, I think it got cold later in the night. The dogs could have eaten with us outside. So yeah, but we had a dog sitter. It was great. But they were very open to everything. They were amazing. But they did want to make sure, like, is it okay that our guests eating in the restaurant are watching your wedding? I'm like, whatever. Like, I just had no cares because I think my
Enough other
mindset,
things.
yeah, it was like, well, this is just us getting married. We're gonna have the big wedding later. That's when it matters. And it actually ended up with me not being so worried about things working out that they did work out. And
You like tricked yourself there, didn't you?
yeah, I didn't have any of the stress that I had, like, I would say, like, normal wedding stress. Like, I just didn't have it because everything was set ahead of time aside from the car snafu. Everything was great. Yeah, that was super simple, and then May came around and completely took over our lives.
You still had your organized timeline. Loved it.
I did.
You're like, here's iteration part 2.
Yeah, I would send it out, and it's like a mass email, so it had all of the wedding party, it had all of my vendors on it.
You had these fantastic itinerary pamphlets for everybody.
Oh, don't.
That never made it out of the house.
The programs. The programs had everybody's name and their title and all the song titles and why the songs were important to us, and I forgot to bring them, and it also had instructions for, at the end of the ceremony, to please take a picture with us going into the coffee hour.
Which I announced them. I remember.
You had to announce it because I forgot $300 worth of pamphlets. I designed them. Everything are, and this just gives you a hint of the detail I put into it. That again it's not me bragging about the detail, but it's me saying I did too much. I custom made our invitations, all of our stationery, everything for the wedding on Canva.
To make, 200 wax seals?
Bobby did all the wax seals himself for the envelopes. Like, I did everything on Canva, and I did not use a template. I said, this is kind of what I want it to look like, and then I made it, and everything from there I had to like copy paste it. And so everything was A, expensive because Canva, and B, extremely detail oriented, which is me to a T. Yeah, so forgetting those programs was it haunts me.
For anybody listening, keep it as simple as you can.
Yeah.
In all regards.
Yeah, see if your venue can do a program for you. That's a thing that happens. Or please.
My wedding.
Or
program's not taken.
Yeah. Maybe don't have such explicit instructions for your guests after the ceremony so that they can just maybe follow some signs or something and not
in retrospect,
not have to,
And again, people from my fundraising world, people need to hear something 7 times, whether it's a thank you or an ask for a reason, a purpose. They need to hear it 7 times. So if you had a sign that was like, we want to see you in a picture, like, come meet us. You have me say it.
Yeah.
At the start, you have me say it at the end. You had the photographer as well, who's literally standing right there barricading, like, and next, click, and next, click, and don't go any further. Like, I was there stopping people, like, don't go there. Go here.
So much.
And it's like, they're going to need many times to hear it. It's the same thing with rehearsals. If I say it once at rehearsal, I have to say it about 5 times at rehearsal. But then the day if I only have to say it twice. People need to hear things a lot more.
Yeah.
I think for all the stress you had, you need a little more sip of your wine there.
I'm for it, yeah.
Awesome. So I know with your the wedding, the elopement, it was a very down to earth, very calm, very chill. You had beautiful tartan. I loved it. You had so much beautiful theme, personality, all into your second wedding. So I'm wondering, what was kind of your process on deciding kind of which wedding would get which focus, how far to go down the fandom rabbit hole? Because I struggled myself. I don't want to go too hard, down the rabbit hole. So what was your process for kind of bringing all that together?
So you decided the first one was a fall theme. So it
was in the fall.
Exactly. So it was almost like a harvest theme.
Well, yeah, we had very basic fall decorations. I made them myself.
We couldn't do too much because of
So had a lot all right there. Like, a gazebo, you didn't have to build an arch or anything.
Yeah.
The koi pond, you didn't have to bring in your own fish.
Right.
You did quite a bit nicely all on your own.
For that one, the ambiance of the hotel was its own decoration. We really did not, like, I put out a couple hay bales with pumpkins.
I put those out.
You did put those out.
I think there's
your diagrams.
There's a theme in these episodes here of we got to make sure we give Bobby all the credit because he sat here going, I didn't do, and now he's picking up like he did that. I did that.
It was in the itinerary with pictures
that we did remember for the first one.
That we did, yeah, in the itinerary with pictures how he was to set it up because decor design is not his thing. You did wonderfully. You did amazing. Because I didn't get to see it until I got back from hair and makeup, and that was, I think you were already there at that point, Amanda. And I was like,
yes,
I'm just gonna look at it, and it is what it is. And I looked at it, and I was so pleasantly surprised. You did amazing.
I can follow instructions.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, you did great. And it was, again, so simple because we had to pull everything down, right away.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing.
As far as the second one goes,
so no PTSD. Keep it calm.
The idea of it was I've always wanted a wedding that spoke to the history lover in me. I'm really into like period dramas. Pride and Prejudice is my favorite movie. I have a Pride and Prejudice tattoo. So I very much wanted like a vintage feel. Wasn't sure how vintage, like what era. And one of the movies, I don't like going to the movies. One of the movies we had seen together in theaters was the Downton Abbey movie. And so I was able to say like, that big garden party they were at? I like that. And he liked it too because there was the aspect of
I wanted an outdoor wedding.
Yeah.
And the attire too. There's something, the guys in that time, they might have been a little more dressed to the nines, but the clothing was really nice, well built, well done. And my thought is if we're going to pay a lot of money for like a suit or a tux, you better be freaking keeping it. Versus, again, some of the elements that were from older time periods, you're going to get 5, 10, 8, 20 wears out of it. My husband and his groomsmen all wore like smoking jackets, like button-up sweaters as a gift. And it's like, wear it whenever you want. I'm good.
Well, the groomsmen attire was almost the first thing I picked out. I think I had that picked out before I picked out my wedding dress. I knew what I wanted the groomsmen to wear, not the groom, not the bride. So it was like a Peaky Blinders kind of deal. And I knew what I wanted them to wear. And everything was from Amazon. Everything was like $25, $30 so that they didn't. I hate the idea of, I want you to be my bridesmaid. Oh, but you have to spend $200 on a dress and $150 to go to the bachelorette party. And no, I'm broke too. Yeah. So the decision on like the decor and the theme is like, let's do that beautiful vintage wedding. For him, his happiest times growing up was going outside playing lawn games with his family. And like, we can make that happen. We can make it part of it. That's great. And then finding ways to incorporate the fandoms into it so that it didn't look like one of those 2010s lightsaber drawn like Pinterest weddings.
And you weren't like Disney adults where it's like, God,
that's not
you want touches.
Yeah.
Or as I call it, the sprinklings versus the whole hog.
Yeah. And there's no problem with people doing that. It's just not us.
No.
Yeah. So we found ways to like elegantly
hint
at things.
Right.
Yeah.
And the hardest thing I have, and it's because I love a lot of things too, is that if you go whole hog on any one thing, you can't add in anything else because then it you can't have a Disney Star Wars wedding. Like
right, yeah.
Now,
now you can.
By going whole hog. But if you take a few quotes or a bit of music and you take little hidden Mickey decorations and something small, you can get so much more out of combining these things in meaningful ways without someone going, wait, are we at like a Peaky Blinders Downton Abbey wedding or are we at Walt Disney World? Like, you were able to blend a lot of really great things together.
We had a lot of bits and pieces of everything coming together.
We did.
Yeah. Yeah, and then...
Now, how I was saying before, how things go off the rails, we were planning to have an outdoor wedding. It started to rain, so the games were out. The yard games were gone.
Yeah, the yard games were gone.
It was cold, so people were complaining, so we had to move. People were leaving.
Coming up to us, they would take the picture and then go, I have to leave. It's really cold. And I'm like, food?
The breakfast bar was inside, man.
Yeah. No, people left
It was a
because they were
soggy,
cold.
a little soggy underground. I remember walking out from
Very
soggy.
So
Very
within what 5-10 minutes of taking all the pictures,
And chef picked-
everybody got together, pick up tables, and carry them all inside.
That was my bridezilla moment. Was when I had to sit there. We're taking pictures, and in the background, I can see the caterer taking everything from the indoor kitchen, wheeling it out. And the caterer is not a good friend of mine. We're not like besties, but somebody I know and respect, and I know his family, and I've worked with them. And so I'm watching them haul ass, and then my my maid and my matron of honor come up to me and they go, "We have to move it inside." And I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me right now?" I just watched everybody, the whole bar, all the models were
Right.
moved out.
Do the job that they're professionals at. Assign to them. Don't you
I
think that they
know.
would have been the first people to
Well-
say, hey, we've seen XYZ ever happen
Yeah.
before. It's not going to work. Like normally you let your professionals dictate what's
Well, the-
feasible and reasonable versus just the other people who, again, maybe at 1 to 2 weddings a year. Let it be the people who are at 50 to 60 a
Yeah.
year, please.
Well, it's the kind of person I am, unfortunately, is like, I wish I could have just picked up my dress and helped them carry food out. Like, it was hard for me to just watch other people. And the bartenders were volunteers. The bartenders were not paid. They were volunteers. There was no staff. Like, I think, a lot of people get married at venues with staff. This was not, there's no staff.
There's a parking you brought in.
Yeah. So hearing that we had to move everything inside, I got very frazzled just for a moment, and then I went, okay, we do what we got to do. And all of our guests just
My cousins were just
picked
picking up
up,
tables,
yeah.
carrying a whole ensemble right inside.
Picking up tables and chairs. I'm in my wedding dress carrying things out.
Unfortunately, that threw the table assignments out the window.
It did. Yeah, everybody just sat wherever they wanted.
It was a 10 table.
I should have even made a seating chart. I shouldn't have even done it. I know you helped my mom with those tags and the teacups. We should not have even done it. It should have been take your teacup, sit wherever the hell you
It
live.
was so funny because your mom had asked at one point, like, oh, do I have to take them all out? You're like, yes, you have to take them all out and they all have to be attached. They have to. She's like, okay.
Yeah. No, my mom, she had offered to help so many times knowing that I would not ask her to. So then when she did that one time, I'm like, I'm taking you up on it. You're going to be sorry.
Moment, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And she was.
Did you have any must-haves on your list, and, were you able to get them and were they worth it in the end? Bobby, your line?
Oh, I guess I do have a line.
You do. You picked that yourself.
Mm-hmm.
All by yourself?
I asked him these questions 2 nights ago, and I'm like, you have to have like some semblance of an answer. And this is the one that he answered like, boom, didn't even think about it.
So we did not want a wedding cake. Right?
Waste of money.
They're always too expensive. They're never as good as you want them to be. And I'm not saving a wedding topper for a year to eat on my anniversary.
Gross, not in our freezer.
No. Not having that. So instead, we came up with different options, which was a buttload of pies.
Yeah, we had fruit pies. Your cousin's husband made them.
Mm-hmm.
He and his mom do pies at a farm stand. Oh,
so they were all fresh.
King.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
It was one other thing.
The cannoli.
The cannoli.
Lots of cannoli because you got to represent.
And then at the bakery by us, they have these chocolate dipped cupcakes. And they are delicious. And everybody was talking about how good those were.
Yeah.
Which I wish more people would have eaten them because I brought about 100 of them home and I did not need to eat all of them.
But somehow you did. Is the thing. Like somehow the millions of cannolis that came home with me and the millions of cupcakes, they did disappear before they went bad. Right. So we've both gained a little weight since then, honey, and that's okay.
Oh,
but I got.
Well, I think for people that do like cake or assume there has to be cake at weddings, having cupcakes is a great well, here's our spin on it. Here's our take on it. Which is, hey, take it or leave it. Well, I like them.
I don't like that the wedding cake often sits out. That people breathe on it and take pictures with it. He almost knocked one over at a wedding we went to.
Pushed.
He was pushed, but he almost knocked one over. There was just too much risk and grossness involved in it. And again, no shame to anybody else that does that. It just wasn't my vibe. Wasn't my thing.
So you find other ways.
We had the individual things and people loved it. People still talk about we went to Makeup Easter on Sunday, and my aunt was still talking about the cupcakes.
Mm-hmm.
So that was your must have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you really had, did you?
Oh, I did.
Oh, she darn well
Me,
did.
moi. I had the music.
Okay.
The music was so pivotal.
Which is why it was listed in the program of exactly which song and why.
Exactly which
That
song.
was the tone.
It listed the music for the whole day because it went by, I don't want to say by decade because that's too broad. The music before the ceremony was all classical music, my picks 100%. During the ceremony were just songs that were meaningful to us, not necessarily wedding songs. I don't think our first dance song was really, it was Never My Love by The Association. Big hit in the 60s. Like The Association. Yeah,
I wasn't born in the 60s.
Yeah, basically the people that were there that were born in the 60s or lived through the 60s were like, "Oh, I remember this song," and everybody else was lost.
It's so fitting for people though.
Yeah, it was perfect. And funny enough, I'm corny and I texted him the lyrics because they're like, you wonder if there's going to be a time that I don't desire you or I don't have time for you. Never, my love. And I texted him that and he goes, "What song is that? That's really nice." I'm like, "The one we danced to at our wedding?" He goes, "Oh, I can see why you picked it."
And I was sober.
It's okay. My dad now forever calls Chasing Cars that song. Like, no, not the wedding song, just that song, because that's what I walked the aisle to him with is that song.
Okay.
It doesn't correlate to a wedding. He just goes, "Oh, it's that song."
It's that song. Yeah, yeah. That's fair. Yeah, so everything was, we went like coffee hours like the 40s, then, during food, it was the 50s. It moved through. We did not have anything that came out after 1989. People hated it. People hated me. They went up. My DJ was not a DJ. He is a friend. He is a sound guy. And I said, "Hey, can you play music at our wedding?" I made all the playlists. In my itinerary was you play this one for this one for that. I, we both picked most of the songs, but I handpicked every single song on every single playlist for everything. There was not going to be a cha-cha slide at my wedding. I was damned if I was going to have like Pitbull come on. No, that's not the vibe. So we had people coming up to us because they would go up to the DJ and say, "Hey, can I get this song?" And he's like, "Nope, gotta take it up with the bride." And they would come up to me and I go, "I picked this music myself.
It's me.
This is what we're listening to." And we don't dance.
I don't remember anybody else dancing besides your brother.
We did dance later, but we don't really dance. Like, we go to other weddings and we just sit there, which is like, I have an eternal sit there and watch other people partner. It's great. So
my husband wishes that was me.
Really? Oh, he doesn't like to dance?
He doesn't like to go anywhere, period.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair, though. It opposites attract, but sometimes it is nice to have that, like,
built-in person.
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't dance, so dancing was not even on the menu.
Right. So you more so like what you wanted to listen to.
Yeah, like what we wanted to listen to, the background of our day. People were upset about that, and I said, "Please write all formal complaints and send them to me." And
there's traps in over there. Yep.
Yeah, just throw them over there. Yeah, that was my must-have aside from the date.
What was the hardest decision? I am going to keep you to one, so whittle it down. What was the hardest decision you had to make during the planning process? And again, it could be from picking the date, and the date was really important, like the venue, the bridal party. We all know how bridal parties can be. Then we're going to start with Bobby off the gun. Bobby, what would you say was the hardest decision?
I'd say the guest list. It was difficult to figure out who was going to show knew was going to show up versus who you invited over courtesy,
who you wanted to show,
who you wanted there,
versus who it might be a little more of a hassle if they were there. And especially when you guys did the 8-person as well, you were incredibly intentional at 2. Okay, 4. Okay. And so like to start so small and then to have your next wedding be like, okay, we can and will be going bigger, but like how much bigger do we go? And would they come? And do I really want them to come?
And people were upset over not being at the first one versus the second.
Yeah.
And we've actually even had somebody who at my sister's wedding a month or two ago now, they showed up with a card for my sister and her husband now, and they came in with a card for us because they were not on the guest list at our wedding.
We didn't even think to invite. Like, I don't know her. She came up to me and she said, I understand why you didn't invite me. You don't know me. I'd like to get to know you. Oh. And that for me is like, for all the people that did have a problem, that for me is like so kind.
It just wasn't even on my mind.
Oh.
I haven't talked to them in 10 years.
You know?
I had a whole matrix for figuring out, who to invite. It's like, if you were in their wedding in the last 5 years, if you were invited in the last 2, whether you can make it or not, if you talked to them, like a whole thing to get down the guest list. And there's been so many people since the wedding, or even, 2-3 months lead up to the wedding, that it's like, oh, and I just found you and I just reconnected. But I don't want to be like, I hate being put in that position of like, oh my gosh, I just saw you like last week. It was so great to catch up on coming to my wedding in a month. Like, that.
Well, I did that.
So like, I didn't want to do that for people. And then at the same time, just having, we had to call my husband's aunt the other day. We got an invite to a wedding, 2 names we didn't know. The pictures, like them, like black and white, the backside on.
Oh,
with, like,
no.
I can't even see their faces. So of course I'm like, I'm running through, because sometimes couples will send me like, oh, just so you've got all the details in one place, like here's an invite. Like,
yeah.
And so I don't think so. I would remember the hand stamp. Don't worry. I got 2 sets of thank you cards and 2 sets of reviews. So we're solid.
Okay.
We're solid.
All right.
Yeah, leave it left with the programs. It's fine. So I'm like running through like, okay, these aren't couples of mine. It's addressed to me and my husband. I'm like, very few of my couples know I got married. Like they aren't gonna invite him and me, especially if I'm like, this is so weird. So I'm like, honey, what do you know? He's like, I know nothing. We like Facebook stalk. Turns out it's like a second cousin to my husband. And there was some family drama. She's of a generation that wasn't first line impact by the drama, and she just wants to make amends.
Yeah. Good for
And
her.
so she's like, yeah, we invite this family. And again, she said to her mom, like, yes, we invite great aunt so-and-so. And then her mom's of the generation that says, well, if you invite great aunt so-and-so, you have to invite their kids and their spouses. I think probably trying to make it a little harder. And she was like, fine, invite them. Probably the same mindset of, well, they don't really know me. They probably won't come. But this is me mending an olive. This is me doing some things. I probably will end up going, because I know my husband's grandmother really wants to go. She wants to be part of this mended generation. And she doesn't drive. And I don't mind weddings. So hey, I'll probably be at it. But again, very similarly, like, to get an invite and be like, oh my, who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad is one of 7, and my mom was one of 5.
Yeah.
So if I invited all of my aunts and uncles, all of my cousins, so we would have had a wedding in the 500s.
Yeah.
My friend's husband is Amish, and so she's a very small family. It's just her sister, her parents, like her aunts and uncles are like family friends. They're very small. She's like, yeah, like I've got like 25, 30 people like for my side and my bridal party, period. And he's like, yeah, well, I'll match that. And she goes, well, I left room. Yours can be a lot bigger. He goes, no, we all know how big our families are. So you, outside of my siblings, for all of my aunts and uncles and everything, we issue 2 invites to the family and let the family decide who goes.
That's smart.
Maybe it's the aunt and uncle who goes, or maybe it's the 2 male cousins that are closest in age that grew up with him, or maybe it's, whoever's next in line to take the family wedding. He's like, but he's like, my mom is one of 10, my dad is one of 12. Right. So we just issue
big families.
2 invites to each of the households, and we let them decide how they want to work it out.
Yeah. Well, we had a discussion about it when the topic of marriage first ever came up in our relationship. We were maybe together like 2 years. And I said to him, I'm like, man, a wedding, even just for our immediate family, if we're talking aunts, uncles, parents, siblings, and first cousins only, it would have been 100 people. So we ended up inviting 300 people, and we ended up having 160. So it was a good turnout.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Because we invited a lot of people we knew like wouldn't be able to fly in. And there were a few that we invited. Yeah. There were a few that we invited that we really thought would come, and then they didn't. And it was like, oh no, we really wanted you there, for one reason or another. But yeah, we knew we were looking at about 150 likely. 200 at max, but we knew the full 300 was not going to happen.
Well, last friend I talked to, she said, it's so different when like you make the list and you see the name on paper, and even when you get the RSVP back and you see like, oh yes, they're coming, to physically look out in the audience and to see that person there. It's not just a listed name at a seating chart. It's not just another RSVP back. It's them. And she's like, and that was overwhelming. She's like, I could tell you I had like 120 people. She's like, but to look out, that's 120 people.
Yeah. Well, I know there were people at our wedding that you didn't know. There's not a single person there that I had not met. There's not a single person there that I did not know. You didn't know some of my family friends. But everybody else, it was like people that we have interacted with within the last year, because it's all family. And we did have some of those family rifts that were like, no, you know what? That stops at that generation. We're inviting them. We're having them because if you treat me like family, then you're family. If you treat me like dirt, well, that's a different story.
I've found a lot of couples that, I mean, typically if it's a younger couple and the family hasn't had a lot of loss, grandparents are all still around, then you kind of don't get just how important weddings are or how important it is to see people at the fun things.
Right.
It's when you've got like an older couple or older families and they've been to far more funerals than they have weddings. In case you guys were wondering, that's another bottle of wine. We're going to keep going here. When they've been to far more funerals than they have weddings, then they're kind of more like, yeah, let's not make the next time that we see each other to chat be over someone's casket. Like,
weddings and funerals, right?
Let's try to be happier if we're going to reconnect and re-talk. So, Emily, what was the one woman you to one?
I know.
What was the one thing that was the hardest decision you had to make?
Bridesmaids' dresses. Could not decide on colors, themes.
But you knew you wanted them inexpensive, easily accessible, size inclusive to anyone.
Yeah, eventually, and the hardest part was figuring out what was going to go with the groom's wear, because I knew what I wanted them to wear right off the bat. Finally, I was like, you know what? Wear white. I told them to wear white lace. That was my only specification. It had to be white or off-white. It had to be lace. I got people telling me, that was the only time people really told me how to plan my wedding, was you cannot have, my bridesmaids were uncomfortable with it. My family was uncomfortable with it. I'm like, people, you have not seen my dress. My dress had a green underlay and it was stark white. So I did stand out. That was the whole, well, you're not going to stand out against the bridesmaids. I did stand out. I looked great. I was the only person with color. It worked out. It was very cohesive. It looked great. So yeah, I have white bridesmaids dresses.
See if I can find a picture and post it online. And the other thing too that you had really, really uniquely was under the gazebo that you had, it wasn't just enough space for the three of us and your bridal party on the outside.
Yeah.
Your bridal party was all on the inside. And it was a very surrounded by love kind of
I rebuilt that.
We actually did. We rebuilt. So my ex-boyfriend, who is my best friend now, he was in our wedding party. We both had exes in our bridal party.
Mm-hmm. Offline, you'll have to
to who. I'll tell you who.
I'll see if I picked up on anything. And probably not.
His ex-girlfriend was my senior bridesmaid, and my ex-boyfriend was one of his groomsmen. But his father built that gazebo for his own wedding 30 years ago. And
why didn't we put that in the damn script?
I know. And yeah, he built it for his own wedding 30 years ago. And he was also in attendance.
Yeah.
And when my ex and I were together, we were like, oh God, we're going to be stuck getting married in this gazebo. I was adamant. I never wanted to get married there. We got married there. But yeah, it was in such disrepair because everything there is volunteer run. So if you don't have somebody going in and replacing the wood and repainting it, it falls apart. And they do have weddings there, but
not enough.
Not enough. And I think a lot of people come through and they see things in disrepair and they go, well, I don't really want to do it here. I mean, if you're desperate enough, budget wise, you might say yes. But we went, we replaced the wood, we repainted it, we pressure washed it, we made sure it was and we left our decorations up so they could book more weddings in there afterwards.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a lot of time and love And I think it shows. Like, I think it shows in the pictures. Yeah.
There's some great ones.
Yeah, it was the ceremony was the most perfect thing, and I think that's because of you too.
Well, let's just lead into that, shall we? So I know, or at least I believe I know how you found me, but why don't you tell the folks at home how you found me, and again, and all the options of the world that you could have had, what led you to decide to pick me?
You left my part blank.
I did not.
No, she did
You're
not.
right there.
Oh, because I had no idea what the answer.
No more drinks for you, Bobby.
He didn't know because I found you.
He found me through 2 different places.
Yeah.
So much like we were talking about, like, oh, I would match with one guy on one site and then match with the. I was so confused when you messaged me on one site for one day, and then
I
you
had
matched.
you on the knot at first because the knot was I had to keep it separate for both weddings.
Mm-hmm.
So the knot was for October, and then the wedding wire was in May. So I actually lied. You said wedding wire. We found you on the knot. We found a bunch of people on the knot. We interviewed candidates.
I was the final pick.
You were, yeah. You were not. There were like 3 or 4, 5. I don't know. We talked to a lot of people. We did a lot of Zoom interviews, and I got to the point where I'm like, I'm not going to find somebody because I needed someone that would deal with my crazy. I needed someone that had a similar vision and understood my vision.
That would do a 2-parter
And
without breaking the bank.
People thought we were crazy. It wasn't even breaking the bank. I knew that it would be more expensive, but people are like, you want to do what? We had one woman because
It's a shocker because
yeah,
we did a lot of them.
a lot of those, right? Like, it's not out of the realm of
You would present an idea.
it's the same one.
Same, yeah, I thought so.
She was very abrasive, and she was the person I talked to right before you. I think that helped your case a little. She did not think it was necessary to do 2 weddings. Like, she was trying to tell us how to plan our weddings.
Okay.
I
can do it.
We were talking to her about the self-uniting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, well, if you're not a Quaker, you can't do that. Like, she just was pushing back so much. And then I was like, well, I guess we'll interview another officiant. And it was you. And I was like, oh my God, this person is like, I was like
this one.
I was like, I know, I don't like enough people that when I find someone I like, I know I like them. I don't really know why, but I know. And I was like, I like her. We're working with her. I'm excited about it. And I told you, I knew we were going to work with you before we even ended that call.
Right.
And
you didn't even have
hanging.
And you didn't even have like a second date yet. You're just like,
yeah.
The other one, we're interviewing places, we're figuring things out. So like, can we book you like in advance for a potential second wedding?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I don't know how I quote potential, but sure. Yeah. Why not?
No, not before. Like, we got off the call and I was like, oh yeah, we're hiring her, but I'm going to wait a couple days to tell her that. Like,
you gotta let me issue you a quote first.
Yeah.
Because if not, it starts to feel like some of the sketchy spammers on like,
yeah,
I will send the money tomorrow. Tell me your bank account.
Yeah. No, I told him, I said, I don't care.
Process.
I literally said, I don't care how much she charges us. We're paying it.
At least you didn't ignore.
This is one thing I won't budge on.
Oh, I have some, dude. Oh, I have some that go months. In fact, I had one for an elopement who was going to come to my house and get married in like January. And the only reason she was coming to my house was because of the travel to get down to her and the winter weather fee. Because it's bad. I spent $25. You want me to leave my house in the winter?
Yep.
And so she was going to come to me. And she paid the money. Hey, what day? Hey, what time? Hey, are you still coming today? No, you got the flu? Okay, cool. Let's push back a week. Hey, your license is about to expire. Oh, you never actually finalized and picked up your license.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now nothing's actually going to expire. Oh, you're waiting for his ring to come in and then you'll get your license. Okay, cool. So his ring's in and you got your license. Cool. Start the clock. You got 60 days to get married. Once every 2 weeks, I text her, hey, it's Amanda, the officiant that you booked and paid for. You're still coming up to me to get married. Tell me a date and time. And I'm about a normal 9 to 5 right now. So I'm like, yeah, tell me what works for you. I can literally do anything. I had to chase her down. I married her like 3 days before the license expired.
Meanwhile, every time you emailed me, I'm like, I have an email from Amanda. I was so excited.
I worked her list. I was like,
my list.
This is speak my language.
Pain in the ass, though.
My language.
I'm such a pain in the ass, but I appreciated that you either understood or pretended to understand my lists, and you dealt with that.
Honestly, I'd rather have more answers than less.
Yeah.
And because when a couple has things figured out on their end, I can better clarify what my role is. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of times where I walk into weddings and they're like, help me, I'm poor. Like, I know nothing to do. I don't know how do I want to say my own vows?
Yeah.
Where do I stand? What do I do? What song do I walk down to? When do I start walking? How do I do? And I'm like, cool. I can take on this role of, I don't call it traditional, but like I use all of my past weddings. I call it typical. Like, hey,
Yeah.
off of all these weddings, here's what's happened. So I'll give like the typical, okay, here's what others have done. Here's what I would recommend. Let me help you. Let me guide you. But I love knowing that I'm going to walk into a wedding where so many things are already taken care of, planned, finalized, where I show up and be like, I can be, hey, I'm here to now carry the load off of you. Give me your license. You got your vows. You got your vows. Good. I'm going to stand like this, just reminding you so you're not taken aback. And we're good to go. Okay. And then, there's couples that are somewhere in between where I walk in thinking, oh, they're probably clueless. And some bride grew backbone. I won't call it bridezilla. I'm not saying that, but they grew enough to go, I'm doing that. And I go, okay. And then 5 minutes later, they're like, doesn't really work well, does it? I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But yeah, I'm glad that somebody else paved the trail. It's how we picked our wedding venue was I loved a different venue. The venue coordinator absolutely destroyed on the place. And I didn't walk in saying like, I'm in the wedding business, but I walked in going, oh, I've been a part of a lot of weddings. I really do already know what I want. So
Yeah.
I'm like, we're not doing a first look. Well, surely I'm like, no, surely I'm not.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, and you'll use this door here for the sparkler send off. I'm like, we're not doing that. She's like, no, think of the pictures. They look so pretty. I'm like, I'm actually not paying my photographer to be there all night long because I don't want pictures of people drunk at the reception. So
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh. So I get it. Someone who's infuriating, it really does level out things for the other candidates.
Our photographer did that.
Get a good photographer.
Yeah, get a good photographer. Our photographer, so we didn't want to do a first look. We wanted to do pictures of us getting ready together. I did not want anyone in the room except the two of us. I wanted him to zip up my dress. I wanted that very intimate, those intimate photos. And she was like, well, no, surely you want your bridesmaid to come help you. And I'm like, no, I want my partner to. And my bridesmaid did end up coming in and helping me. And then she convinced us to do a first look, which was okay. I wasn't super about it, but it did add a little bit of element and surprise to it because there was no moment of me walking down the aisle to meet him. We walked down the aisle together.
Mm-hmm.
Really, our dog walked us down the aisle.
No, but 90% of my pictures, I blinked.
All of your pictures, you either had a bug on your forehead or you blinked. And after I booked her and paid her, I saw like some of the images were shaky. The October pictures came out great. The May ones, not so much. But yeah, that like
maybe that's also a vote for why to do, 2 weddings is use your first one as a trial run. Because I'm pretty sure if I had bombed the first one, we had it set up as payment plan process where you would have only you wouldn't have even lost out. You could have canceled the contract and said, yeah, no, actually, we're already married. Okay, thank you so much. We don't need you for the second. Because I made sure I had the first one covered by the time of the first one and the remainder covered for the second.
Yeah.
I wasn't losing out on anything, but if you were like, oh, hard pass.
Yeah,
you could have easily said, hey, thank you, bye. Like, hey, not saying you got to do 2 weddings, but if you're thinking about doing 2, one of the upsides is you can use it as a trial run for some of the vendors. Don't sign on the double contract. Just for one, then see if they'll do a referral or a returning client or something.
Yeah.
Just to make sure you get what you want.
And you have a photo album in I think I heard in Korea they do this. They actually take their wedding photos before their wedding. They get dressed and do the photos all dressed up so that they have a wedding album ready. We had a wedding album at our wedding for everyone to see. And it takes a lot of the pressure off too of the pictures because like, well,
it also like thank you cards too because you want to get them out super quick after a wedding. But a lot of times you want to use a wedding picture. Who needs to know was the second wedding picture?
Yeah.
First wedding one. So, Bobby, as you did most of the planning, who helped you most in the planning process?
Emily.
That's the correct answer. So I'll kick it then, Emily. Who do you think was the best support And how'd that support make a difference for you in the wedding planning process?
I hate to pick out one person, but it's very easy to. My matron of honor, Crystal, first off, she was the first person I told that we were getting married because, again, we needed our 2 witnesses. I reached out to her. I said, "Hey, would you and your husband be our witnesses?" Immediate yes. She was so happy for us. No questions asked.
I remember her very well.
She's amazing. She's kick-ass, man. She's amazing. May, she was in her first trimester, and she had really bad morning sickness. So she was dealing with me being a pain in the ass and also, like, throwing up on the side, right?
Tiny humans.
Oh my goodness. And, she had her baby, and he's so cute, and I'm maybe gonna steal him for a little while. I don't know. He's just cute. But, yeah, she did more than I expected her to, and that goes for the whole wedding party. Her husband really did a lot for us, like,
Even the night
he
before, they had to with all the setup and the
Yeah.
decorations and all that.
The October wedding, they drove me to go get my hair and makeup done because we forgot our second car. Like, he's just the type of person, I don't know, he was in the Army, so, like, I don't know if it has to do with that, but he's like, "Tell me where you need me. Tell me what you need me to do." Also, he's my Hobby Lobby shopping buddy, so he understands design. Yeah, I trust him with that more so than I do my own husband, actually. Yeah, he's
just-
my
You can't see it, but Bobby looks hurt and offended.
Oh, poor baby.
You just won't let me get the giant middle chicken.
That's a story for another time. Yeah, they as a couple, and they let us borrow their dogs for October. We had a bridesmaid dog and a groomsman dog, and they were both their dogs, and she let me dress them up and do things with them. It's great. So, yeah, they really pulled through. They're amazing friends. Amazing.
So we have kind of wrapped in talking a lot about the planning process, which is awesome. And gosh knows that, as I'm sure everyone's realizing, these episodes keep getting a little longer and longer, but the interviews are certainly worth it. It's really great to get to reconnect on my end with the couples. So tune in a little later in the week, or if I don't edit as quickly, next week for the next episode of The Wedding, where we are going to be talking with Emily and Bobby all about the wedding days. That's right, plural. Don't forget, they're a twofer episode for a twofer marriage for an awesome, awesome couple. Thank you for listening to The Wedding Wear with Officiating by Amanda. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and found some inspiration or insight for your own special day. This podcast is hosted on Buzzsprout and can be found on all major platforms. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, comment, and share to help us reach even more listeners who might laugh a little at The Wedding Wear. For the links referenced in the show, visit Linktree at Officiating by Amanda. You can also follow the business on Facebook, Wedding Wire, and The Knot to stay up to date on everything going on. If you have a question you'd like me to answer on the podcast, just send an email to theweddingwearpodcast@gmail.com. And if you're ready to inquire about officiating services for your own big day, you can reach me at officiatingbyamanda@gmail.com. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, this has been Amanda.